After a number of requests from paid ads agencies, web designers, other marketing agencies who just don't have that specialist capacity in SEO, they've asked for some kind of white label arrangement or a referral agreement, and we thought, sure, we can do that. So over time, we've been growing out this white label and referral solution for other agency partners. So they can supply their clients with great high quality SEO, get them to the top of Google without increasing their own workload. But today we had an interesting question from one of these referral partners where they asked, do you do ABC link exchanges? And it made me realize I haven't covered this topic on my channel after 205 videos. Finally, a completely new topic. So link swaps, what are they? Do I recommend them? Are they good? So when you're doing outreach, as you can see here, this is our standard outreach template. This one's from April 2022, so you can see we've been using it for a while. But when we do that outreach, we don't just want to reach out and say, give us a link, we'll pay you, or anything like that. We want to try and build a relationship with that actual webmaster, because frankly, a link swap could be a lot more valuable. So loads of people talk about what's the perfect pitch template in order to get backlinks. I know people had mixed results with trying to perfect that template, or whether that's just how they actually sell the service, and then in reality, they're buying links on the back end. But in terms of outreach scripts, we have actually had loads of requests to cover this in my mastermind. So if you join the mastermind, then we'll be doing that session very soon, where I'll go into depth about my specific method. That method we managed to scale to build thousands of links every month. It is a big job, but we manage it all right. But in terms of link swaps, how do they work? So I'm going to go to this whiteboard over here. Now, the typical case with a link swap is basically you want a link off this other website, but you think they could also do with a link off you. So in an ideal world, that should work every time. But there's a number of problems with that. If you're doing link building, the chances are you're not very big. You've probably got a very low DR. So I've gone for an example. Let's say we're a DR of 12. And to get that DR up, you obviously want powerful links from high DR sites, preferably high DR sites that don't link out to everyone else. That's something I keep saying to people, because agencies will always say, we've got this massive DR60 link. It's getting lots of traffic. Saying, yeah, but it links out to 200,000 other websites. Whereas SEOJesus.com is a fairly new site since my rebrand, so we're steadily building that out. It's already up to a DR of 32, and that's with just 49 referring domains. So to actually move your DR up, then not only do you want powerful high DR sites, but you want to make sure those sites aren't linking out to everyone else. Of course, DR is just a metric. Your focus shouldn't be on increasing DR. It should be increasing traffic and revenue. But I think the way the DR algorithm works, in order to take into account the fact that the power of links is diluted by how many outbound links it links out to, I think that makes sense. I think that's sensible. So it is a metric I do like to use. But to get to that, back to the point, let's say that this is my client on my website, and we want to get a link off this site. So we say to them, can you place a link to us on your website? We'll give you one in return. Well, to them, there's a bit of an imbalance of power here, because you're only a DR of 12. You stand to gain a lot more from this arrangement than they do. So very often this doesn't work. And let's not forget, what you're doing here is creating a massive footprint. So if I just copy this same site all over the place, and let's say that they do actually link back and you get a link back, then you link to this one and they link back to you, link out to this one and they link out to you, and so on and so forth. Now, if you imagine your Google, whether it's the algorithm or you're actually performing a manual check on the backlink profile, does this look suspicious? I'd say so. If all the powerful sites are linking out to you, you're also linking out to them, then that's a bit of an obvious footprint. Now, hopefully you're attracting loads of other links at the same time, but if you're not, and this is your only strategy, then that's quite dangerous. I'm always talking about link diversity and how you can mix up your link profile. So you want different anchor texts, different DRs, different types of website, different types of links. That's why when you first start a website, I recommend just doing a citations and a press release just for link diversity. There is some power there, but it's more about diversity rather than the power. That's how I managed to get my local cleaning website onto the first page of Google with only $200 spent on links. We just used citations and a press release. So people love the idea of link swaps. Why are we even doing link swaps in the first place? Well, in theory, it's a value exchange. It should be really cheap. You don't have to pay. But also, some of us try and get away with the idea that we're not paying, you shouldn't pay for links. Therefore, what we're doing is exchanging links, and that's different. Well, that doesn't really count, because Google says any kind of link building scheme like that is against the terms and conditions. So it can be an exchange of money, but an exchange of a link is the same thing. There's really no difference there. Even all these supposed white hat link builders who say we exchange traffic or we do them a feature, we do some sort of other incentive, it's still an incentive, it's still a transaction. So this is why I tend to just cut to the chase and try and get a deal done rather than worrying about what's the cleaner way of doing it. Now, actually, these kinds of link schemes are actually essential in particularly black hat niches where it's pretty much impossible to get proper links from. So pretty much every escort website I look at has an actual call to action on its site saying links and exchange links. So basically they'll have all their link partners down here, and it says advertise on this website, do follow text links, banner links, and it basically says to exchange links with our London escort agency, please place our banner or text link on your website and then reach out. And I've seen this across this niche. It seems to be a really common tactic. Something that might have worked 15 years ago for most niches, it's still carrying on in these kinds of adult niches. This is exactly why I bought a powerful escort expired domain, just because those links are so valuable and impossible to get. So in these niches, a link for a link is absolutely essential. But for most people, how do you deal with this fact that, for one thing, a DR70 is unlikely to exchange for a DR of 12, and also building this footprint? How do you get around that? Well, let's take out all of these lines, and we'll start again. Here we are on the internet, websites all over the place. Well, let's say we want to get a link from this website. They don't want it from us, but they might actually be interested in a link from more of a similar website. And we know we can get those links by paying. So what we do is we reach out to this website and pay for a link. And then in return, we get a free link from this site to this site. So we've gone, paid for a link on DR50 to point at the DR70. And then in return, they will link to us. Now, the benefit of this is you can get entirely clean, or at least clean looking links from this DR70 website, because Google cannot see that there's a direct relationship with the two of you. Also, you're leveraging the DR, so that site might not want to link to you. Maybe they won't even accept money for links. Some websites won't take cash to link out to you, but they will accept a link swap. So what you need to do is reach out to a site that does accept cash, sell that link to the DR70, and then you'll get that swap. Now, obviously, you are still paying here, and that can add up in costs. So the thing to do is find a relatively low-cost site to build links from, or a number of them, and you just want this middle point where the DR70 won't want to get a link off a DR of 12, but it probably would get a DR50. It probably would do that exchange of a DR70 for a DR of 12. Now, I'm talking about doing outreach to DR50s in order to do this, but potentially, if you've got your own websites as well, in my case, huge portfolio websites, we can actually get those links for free. I can just go into my network and say, there you go, there's your link, that's cost me nothing. Then I get the free link in return for my client. So you can really scale this where you want to get a link from this other DR70. So again, you go to a DR, could be the same one, could be a different one, pay them the cash. They then link to the DR of 70, and they'll then link to you. And you can keep doing this on repeat. And then what you'll find is you're no longer a DR of 12. You could be a DR 30 in no time. And then at that point, you probably would be able to mix in some more direct relationships as well. So suddenly you've got this really varied link profile. Google's not going to penalize you. And you're getting these impossible to get links who are not linking out to everyone else. They'll only link out to people they'll swap with. And you're leveraging a site that will take cash in order to get those impossible links. Now, the pitfalls. Obviously, there's plenty of people on YouTube telling you SEO easy, just do this thing, and you can do it all day long. And you try it, and then everything goes wrong. There's a lot more nuances they didn't actually talk about. I can tell you for a fact, these sites, most of the time, they do actually care about where they're getting the link from. So you can't just go to a dodgy link farm. So let's assume that one gets canned. So instead, I recommend you have a list of high quality website 1, high quality website 2, and high quality website 3. And generally, the trick is to basically pitch all of these websites to the DR70, and they'll say, yep, we'll take that one. And then you go out and buy that link, they link to the website, and then they'll link back to you. So it is a complicated process and it is difficult to scale, but if you're willing to do it, it can work out cheaper than direct link building. And crucially, there is that value in that by doing this, you can get links off sites that will never sell anyone a link, but are willing to do exchanges. But like I say, it's very complicated. We do use it a little bit in-house. It's good to have that variety, and it's a good tactic to have in your toolbox. But generally, for bread and butter and just building your rankings, building your backlink profile, I'd still recommend just stick to the classic, where we reach out to all these websites at once, scraped from your competitors, but we find that one's dodgy. Remember, we've got a really long screening process, checking things like, is the backlink profile genuine? Is the traffic genuine? Are they linking out to everyone? Are they linking out to a million casinos? All of those. It's a great long list. And we reject that one. We reject that one. But then we find this gem. That one's pretty good. And so we'll take that link and we give them cash for it. Now, the beauty of this is it's perfectly scalable. So literally, I'm just going to copy and paste that outreach process. We do it again and again. It's getting very crowded now. But you can see mass outreach, one simple process, heavy screening, heavy checking. And in this example, 3 high-quality backlinks, and that's all for a lot less friction. So this is exactly what we use for all my clients. One perfect example here. Blue line represents referring domains. Obviously, the orange line represents traffic. So perfect arc here, perfect correlation, increasing the backlinks, high-quality backlinks, matches up almost perfectly with the increase in traffic, now up to 50,000 visitors per month. Another example here, an e-commerce website. Again, same thing, blue line and the orange line follow very nicely. In both these examples, the traffic actually outpaces the referring domain slightly. And same again here, a smaller client, more high-ticket client, more niche, but again, started building the links and the traffic took off in parallel. So ABC link swaps I do really like, and I think it's a good tool to have, but the issue really is scalability. Whereas this process, proven to work time and again, I like to use both, but this really is the bread and butter. This is what delivers results consistently. So a few things for you there. If you want more tips like this, go to SEOjesus.com and get my Ranking Revelations newsletter absolutely free. If you are an agency and you want to get more links for your clients, or even full done for you SEO for your clients, then we can talk. Go to the website, submit an application. And if you want to go into greater depth as to how we do the link building, how I do it myself day in, day out, then feel free to join us in the mastermind. Calls are all recorded. So I've already got a great session in there on PBN building. So that's all about selecting expired domains and how we're building this network of sites exclusive for mastermind members to get high quality backlinks that don't link out to anyone else. All that power is concentrated just to mastermind members. And then after that, I got some guest speakers in, some absolute experts I know on local SEO. So we did a 2-hour session all about Google business profiles, from verification to rankings to reviews. So a really complete course on local SEO and Google business profiles. But of course, link building is a popular request, so that'll probably be the next session. That will go into the content vault. Currently, the mastermind is quite low priced, but as we get more and more good content in there, and we buy more and more of these expired domains to build that backlinks network, then obviously the price is going to go up and places will fill up. So you can still get in at the early bird price. If you want to get started with ABC link exchanges, then go to SEOjesus.com. Click the big red button that says Ranking Revelations Newsletter. You can sign up for free absolutely here. You'll receive my latest and best insights. Plus, in that welcome sequence, I will send you 3 outreach email templates for pitching a link swap to a high DR site, plus 3 websites I know will accept guest posts for a reasonable price that you can use to broker that link swap. To buy links from those sites, you can offer it. You can offer your target website a choice of one of those 3 sites and then get that powerful backlink in return.